everyone. I'm Dr. Renee. In today's podcast, I'll be talking to New York State Assembly members and India Home that just received state funding for over $441,000 for their senior care centers that provide a diverse array of culturally competent services for South Asian and Indo-Caribbean community seniors. Since 2007, so thank you very much, Assembly members Grace Lee and David Weprin, Dr. Vasundara, the founder and the Chief Executive Officer for India Home, as well as Kavita Shah, who's the Program Director for India Home. How did this whole tour come out to be for India Home, such great news?
Well, our task force that Grace heads up meets on a weekly basis in Albany during the legislative session. And we always advocate for not-for-profits in the Asian community. I try to advocate for the South Asian community because such a large portion of my constituency is South Asian. So when I think of South Asian not-for-profits performing services of importance to the South Asian community, I always think of India Home. I've been affiliated with India Home since my city council days, 2001, I guess, 2002, but still a long time. And Dr. K does such a great job. And now, as the need becomes greater and greater, became a very large need during COVID and then post-COVID. So I can't think of a better organization. And we had money for the AAPI task force. And again, as I said, I advocated for South Asian not-for-profits, and clearly Dr. K's organization does so much multiple services in so many different areas, whether it be food insecurity or whether it be social services. So I know this money will be very well spent.
Assemblywoman Lee, very instrumental in bringing this along with David Weprin.
Yes, well, David is an incredible colleague. I'm proud to serve with him. And as the chair of the Asian Pacific American Task Force, I am proud to lead the Asian American Caucus in the state legislature to make sure that our Asian organizations, our Asian community is well funded and well represented in the state legislature. I was very lucky when I first came into office to come in with a record number of Asian American elected officials serving in the state assembly and the state senate. And we have been very organized in making sure that Asian American communities get the same type of funding, same type of support that other communities are getting. And this really goes to representation and making sure that the voices of Asian American communities, the voices of South Asians, in this case with India Home, are heard, and that we can deliver the culturally competent, language accessible services that incredible organizations like India Home can provide. Over the last 3 years, we have delivered a record amount of funding to Asian American serving organizations in the state budget 3 years in a row. So $30 million. And I'm very proud to have led the charge on that and to have incredible colleagues like Assemblymember David Weprin, who are fighting for this every single year to make sure that this funding continues.
Thank you, Assemblymember Lee.
Is it going to be an annual funding?
We hope.
Yes. So this
no
funding
guarantees.
Exactly. This funding is never guaranteed. So it really takes the organization of all the electeds and the organizations coming up to Albany and lobbying to make sure that this funding gets delivered to Asian communities year after year. And as you said, Dr. Mehra, how these times are incredibly challenging for our immigrant communities. The needs are growing exponentially, especially with the cuts at the federal level that Trump has committed, against immigrant communities and low-income communities. And so we are going to have to fight very hard to make sure that we can secure this funding for next year.
Dr. Sundar, I want to go back to you now. India Home, away from home, that's the tagline, and that's what your vision has always been. For Asian seniors, South Asian, and in the Caribbean. Tell us, I know the last time when I talked to you, you were talking about having residents and starting something really new and taking it up to the next level. How is it going at this point of time, and how are you going to disperse those funds?
Thank you. Thank you, Renee, for giving us these opportunities. And definitely, we are thankful for our assembly members, Grace Lee and David Weprin, for giving a great support to India Home for the past 3 years. Especially Assembly Member Grace Lee heading these Asian organizations is extremely important because for the past 3 years, actually $30 million every year were allotted towards the Asian organizations. The reason why it is important for these particular organizations because we have, I would say, more than 100 languages. The seniors or the community speaks different languages, different cultural values, right? Whether it is China, Korea, or India, or Bangladesh, Pakistan. I mean, there are so many cultures and the food habits are different. So, this is where absolutely these communities have to be recognized by the state. And especially when this federal funding freezes, that is causing much more problem because so many of our seniors, they are food insecure, and in fact, last month, our food pantries were closed for more than a month because there is no funding for this. And the seniors are turning more and more towards this. And definitely, the funding, what we got through, which is about $441,456, is quite helpful. It really takes us a long way to do many more services. And in fact, our programs and budget director, Kavita, would explain what are all different things we are going to you do with this money.
Thank you, Dr. K. And thank you, Assemblymember Grace Lee and David Weprin and Renee G is to giving us this opportunity to let you all know how important this funding is for our organization. So to give you in a brief, all the funds that we are getting this, what it's going to support. We recently started a dementia daycare program, which is 3 days a week, and it's a we have people with dementia that come and to our centers 3 days a week, and this grant will support that program for us. In addition to that, we have a lot of, especially after COVID, the number of seniors that have started coming to our centers have increased. We've increased the number of centers all throughout Queens. Now we have 5 centers all throughout Queens. In Elmhurst, we used to do once a week. Now we just recently started 2 days a week. So this extra funding will help us support that program. We have art classes, we have karaoke classes, we have card bridge club, we have technology classes on weekends. We also started a co-living home for our seniors. So we have, with staying with Dr. K, she always comes up with a lot of different initiatives that can help our community. And this funding really goes a long way for us, and it will help us to serve our community. And we are very fortunate to be in this position that we can do that for. And all in all, these kind of services that we provide are so, no matter what background you come for older adults, for seniors, these kind of services that we provide are so essential. And I can see the difference because I go on a day-to-day basis to my centers, and I see on first hand how effective these kind of programs are for our seniors. The amount of joy we bring in, the amount of socialization we bring in, the amount of activities we bring to them, and how important it is for us to do something like that. Even we have to talk about this to give us more money is shameful. That this is so essential and this is so important, and I'm so glad that we have assembly members that help us in going over doing what we do. So thank you.
Yeah, especially during this juncture, and we're talking about food pantry, hot meals that you serve, so it helps you to sustain some vital programs for South Asian and Indo-Caribbean community seniors. And I'm sure that will help so many people put a smile on their face with these funds.
Yeah, in fact, we are planning to start a new center in Hicksville because this is a state funding. We can use this funding in Long Island also, in addition to the. But this is important because Long Island people have been reaching us for the past 2 years. We really couldn't start it, but now we decided weekly once we are going to start in Hicksville, and definitely. We would need more money, and we are also planning to start to address the food insecurity, a robotic food pantry. And in fact, I briefly explained this to our assembly members, Grace Lee and David Weprin, and we are going to meet in person in their offices and explain this. And we hope we applied for some foundation dollars also. Hopefully, we are planning to start this in the next 2 months or so. This is a first of its kind, so that the seniors, when there is a manual food pantry, the problem is it is limited to 1 day a week, that to 4 hours or 5 hours, and we need to involve a lot of staff members into that bagging, putting the items in the bag, distributing it along with the volunteers. Whereas with the technology, they can go anytime and they can pick up their food items anytime they want. It's like 7 days, 24 hours. It's hoping it will be successful and replicated throughout the city.
You always had a great vision, so I'm sure that it'll go really far.
Trying to feed people, there's no higher priority than that. And places like India Home, other not-for-profits, dealing with food insecurity, it's a lifeline.
Yeah, no one should go hungry. Thank you very much, all of you, Assembly members, Grace Lee and David Weprin, who's a dear friend of mine for so many years, Dr. Vasundara and Kavita Shah. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Dr. Renee. Stay healthy, stay positive.